Dear viewer, we wish you a pleasant journey through this thread of answers. I'm Warwick Davis, Ewok, Hogwarts professor, leprechaun, tenable quiz show host, AmA. Hello Mr. Davis, out of all the prosthetics and makeup you had to wear, which was your favorite and which was the most difficult to have applied? The grip hook makeup in Harry Potter was the most challenging. It was very heavy and restrictive, but I think it looked incredible. I have so much respect for Nick Dudman and his team of artists. You pulled the role off magnificently. 10 points to Gryffindor. You played 3 different roles in Harry Potter. How easy was it to keep all the characters distinct when playing them? Were you familiar with the Harry Potter universe before taking on the roles? You have to approach each character differently. It starts with the way they think, then add body language and posture. They become distinct and different automatically. It wasn't a conscious effort. Hi Warwick. Now that you said that you're happy with all the roles that you had in your career, I wanted to ask you. In the 1980s, you mentioned in an interview that there was in development Ewoks 3, but the film was never made? Did you know which was its plot and why it was cancelled by George Lucas? Hi Warwick, how different did it feel working on the newest Star Wars films to how it was back in the 80s? It's really not that different. I find it just as exciting as I did when I was 11, and many of the techniques used have not changed at all. Till Warwick Davis was 11 when he was in Star Wars. Does making Willow 2 interest you? Yes. I absolutely love Willow. I killed my VHS as a kid, I watched it so much. Would you be willing to do a sequel even after so long? It would be cool to see you ask the next generation what finger holds the magic to change the world. An older Willow would be interesting to explore. Hello. Forgive me if this comes out offensive, none is meant. I really love your work and think you are a great actor. Sometimes I feel like you are somewhat typecasted into roles inherently designed for little people. Is it hard or even possible to get major roles that are open and not little specific? It's an honest question, but QAce, I would love to see you just act in a position. I feel like every time I've seen you do this, it's in a project of your own device. Anyway, would love to hear from you, mate. I am very happy with the roles I have been getting throughout my career. They have all been interesting and I am constantly being pushed creatively and learning new skills. I have a new quiz show called Tenable on ITV in the UK, and I can honestly say I love hosting it, even though it is more difficult than playing a character in a movie, for example. Warwick, if you could cast any spell only once each day, what would it be? An anti-discrimination spell. Silencio discriminamus. Avada Kedavra works well too. What is your dream role in a movie? A spy like James Bond. I would watch the crap out of that. I'm not being offensive, but honestly, a Warwick Davis James Bond paired with a Peter Dinklage villain would be perfect. Mr. Davis, what's it like being part of 2 of the biggest franchises, Star Wars and Harry Potter, of all time? I feel incredibly lucky. What are your favorite TV shows right now? I am absolutely loving Stranger Things too. I have resisted watching the whole series in one sitting, instead savoring one episode each evening. If they do make a season 3, I will personally travel to and camp outside the Duffer Brothers' house to get a part. You should start a petition, because I would camp outside your house to be the first one to sign it. Which Leprechaun movie was your favorite, and if you could pick any setting for a future movie, what would you choose? Lep 3.1 think it would be fun to do a Leprechaun, Pirates hybrid movie. I want me gold. What was the worst thing you had to endure while filming Idiot Abroad? Horrendous hotels. At least you weren't Carl. And in next week's episode, Warwick gets a family-sized suite at the front of the boat whilst Carl has to share with a traveling monkey salesman, 2 escaped convicts, and a broken craptor. Mr. Davis, if you could choose your last meal on Earth, what would it be? Pie. What kind of pie? Pie flavored. Hello. If you could adopt any fantasy beast or creature from the various universes you've acted in as a pet, what would you choose? I like the look of the porgs in The Last Jedi. Yeah, Disney is set to make a ton of money off of those. Unlike George Lucas, Jar Jar, they had decades of practice making adorable non-human companions. I am entirely unsurprised that both BB-8 and the porgs took off. What's your favorite song? Thanks for doing this, and for all of your work. Always look on the bright side of life. I had so much fun performing the song in the musical, Spamalot. Fun fact, they play this over the speakers after every Iron Maiden concert. How was it working with the Yogscast in the past? Would you work with them again in the future? They are a great team. I'd be happy to collaborate on further project with them. Paging/you/Louis Cephos, please make it happen. My childhood needs a reunion video, preferably with Simon reenacting the infamous "I'm 32 years old" moment. We'll bring back Tim Rose. What was your most fun moment on your adventures with Carl? Seeing all the fantastic places we visited and having experiences I wouldn't have had on a normal holiday. Hi Warwick, what's with the name Warwick? Is it 'cause you were conceived in Warwick Castle? Also, do you refer to your own house as Warwick's Castle? Missed opportunity if not. All the best. My name was seen by my parents as graffiti on a train station wall. It turns out it's a good name for an actor as it's quite unusual. I often refer to my house as Warwick's Castle on my quiz show, Tenable. What was it like working with Val Kilmer? I think Val is a brilliant person and actor. We got along great, and still do. He is often misrepresented in the media, which is a shame. He's very active on Reddit and frequently communicates with fans in a very open and friendly manner. Dude is a real class act. Wouldn't be surprised to see him pop in here to make a comment or ask a question. Hi Mr. Davis, I have been a fan of yours since I was very young. I spent many days pretending to be Wicket playing in the forest near my home. But without a doubt Willow holds the closest place to my heart. Do you have any stories about Val Kilmer from your time on the film, and do you do any magic tricks yourself? Thanks and never stop being awesome. Val Kilmer once broke my pair of fake Ray-Ban sunglasses on purpose. Waited for me to get annoyed, then gave me 2 pairs of real Ray-Bans. I learnt magic for Willow but don't practice any of the tricks now. Will we ever see any more of Porridge on Doctor Who? I'd love to do more Porridge. I think he's a very interesting character with so much more to offer. After all, he is the emperor of the known universe. I'm just remembering how I once met you when you were in Woolacombe. It always stuck out to me that you took the time to meet and greet people who wanted to speak to you even though you had a bunch of people telling you that you had to get going. So thanks for being cool. What's your favorite moment from the Harry Potter series? It's hard to choose one moment from 11 years of memories. I had a wonderful experience during that time. My fondest memories are of the people involved in the making of the films. What were Mr. Merchant and Mr. Gervais like to work with? Also, how did Johnny Depp fit in? Was it via Tim Burton? Did you meet Helen on Harry Potter? Stephen is very funny and a brilliant writer/performer. Ricky is sometimes like a 6-year-old child, mischievous and silly. Ricky just asked Johnny and he said yes. Life's Too Short is one of the funniest shows I've seen. Would you like to do more comedy? Thank you. I love doing comedy even though it's often harder than doing drama. Hi Warwick, I really love your work. I'm disabled and am interested if you perceive yourself as disabled. Also, do you think more should be done to raise awareness about disability, particularly in the UK where attitudes seem to be very polarized and negative? I don't perceive myself as being disabled. I think it's important to take what could be a disadvantage and a negative thing in your life, reframe it, and only see the positives it brings you. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.